back to the kitchen. In today's video, we're canning peaches. And I thought I'd bring y'all along and show you. This will be just a quick little video on how to put up fruit. It's always good to have fruit put up in your pantry for days to come. You can can peaches, apples, pears, mangoes, any kind of fruit, really, even figs, if you have any figs. But today's video, it's all about the Georgia peach. So come on and let's put up some of these sweet peaches while they're in season down here in the South. We love Georgia peaches, and today's video, we're gonna put us some up. If you're from the South, you know what I'm talking about. They ain't nothing better than a Georgia peach. So y'all come on and let's put up some of these sweet peaches. These are just a few things that we have canned, and I thought I'd share them with y'all in case you're interested in starting to can. These are some things that you can and they will last for months to come. The times are getting hard, money's getting tight, the economy's getting bad, so it is a great time to start putting up anything you can get a hold of. Every little bit counts. The first thing I'm going to show y'all is we've got canned okra. Look how pretty that is. Some canned mangoes. And the fruit I put in pints. I put them in smaller jars because we won't use quite as much of that, just with Travis and myself. And even the baby carrots, I put those in pints. And today we're doing canned peaches, but here's another, here's a can of my peaches right here. I've got canned pears, canned green beans. Look how pretty those are. So if y'all are thinking about starting to can, these are just a few things that you can can. In today's video, we're doing peaches, but there's so many different things that you can and put up for your family for these hard times that might be coming our way. Times are getting hard. The money's getting tight, and groceries just keep going up. So anytime you can get a hold of anything, put it up, can it, even freeze it, ever how you can. Whatever your family can do, it'll be a great thing to have in days to come. So let's get started, and today we're going to be canning peaches. Okay, once I've got my water good and hot and it's boiling, I'm going to drop my peaches down in there one at a time so I don't splatter the water, and let them boil just for like 3 to 4 minutes, not long at all. And that'll help you be able to peel them, and the skin will just come off real easy. I'll probably have to do half and then the other half in the second round. So there's one round. Let's get them in there and let them come to a good boil. And then once they start boiling good, we're going to time it and let them boil for 3 to 4 minutes, and then we're going to take them out and put them in an ice bath. Okay, now we're going to take them out. They've been cooking for 4 minutes. And we're going to put them in an ice bath. And that will stop the cooking process. That just helps your peelings come off real easy. So now let's put the other batch in there. I'm going to use the spoon so I don't burn my hand. This will probably give me maybe four pints of peaches to use. I just don't want to let them go bad. So we're going to can these up so we'll have them. Okay, we're going to let those cook, and then once these cool, we'll start cutting them. I'm going to take this batch out and set over here, and then we're fixing to get the other ones out. And while those are cooking, until we get ready to take those out in just a minute, I'm going to show y'all doing this process how easy that makes your peaches peel. Look how easy that peels the peeling right off. Doing it this way makes it so easy. So this is just an easy hack that you can do when you're canning fruit. We'll make that peeling just peel right off of that pretty peach. There ain't nothing sweeter than a Georgia peach. I'll do one more and then I'm fixing to get those out because I don't want to overcook them. I just want the skins to peel off. Let's go ahead and get these out over here because I'm afraid I'm going to overcook them. Cut that off. And let's get to cutting these peaches up now. Let me get me something for my peeling. I'll just put them in here so I can throw them out. Or you could save them and make you some maybe peach jam or jelly. I'm going to give mine to the chickens. The girls will love that. They love their fruit and vegetables, but the other day I brought them some June bugs and they had a feast. If y'all hadn't seen that video, I'll link it down below. You need to go watch that if you hadn't ever seen a chicken on a June bug. We're going to be using pint-sized jars for these canned peaches, just because that's about the size that me and Travis can eat. And then if we make a big peach cobbler for the whole family or anything like that, I'll use two pints. Let me get these peeled and we'll bring you right back. Look how easy. You could even just do it. You can just peel it with your hand. The way I like to do it is I just go along the side and go all the way around. And most of the time you can just turn those Georgia peaches and it'll come right out of there. And then you can just take and pull that seed right out of that peach. And that's all there is to it. And I'm just going to slice them up in like peach slices that you would buy. Once we get all these done, we're going to pack them in our jars. It's a real easy way to fill your pantry right now when everything's costing so much. If you have any fruit that you get and then you see you're not eating it, can it. Put it in your pantry for the winter time when you won't have this pretty fruit. Unless you can it. Let me get all these cut up and I'll bring y'all back. Now that I've got clean water in my pot, I'm going to go ahead, bring it up to a boil, and I'm going to add a little white sugar to it and make me a simple syrup to pour over my peaches. And we're going to put 1 cup of sugar in this 5 cups of water. Okay, here's my 1 cup of sugar. And we're going to let that start coming to a boil and cooking that sugar down to make our simple syrup for our peaches. Okay, now that we've got our jars washed and cleaned and sanitized, they're ready to go. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to add a teaspoon of lemon juice to each jar to the bottom. I'm going to start off with 7 jars, and I believe that'll be about how many peaches I got, but if we have more, I've got plenty more jars, but let's start stuffing the jars. After we got our lemon juice in the bottom of each jar, let's go ahead now and start putting our peaches in. And you want to pack them in there, not real tight, but you want to get them good and snug, but make sure you leave the 1-inch head space so you have plenty of room. there they are. I got 6 pints of Georgia peaches. Let's get the syrup in them now. Okay, now we've got everything we need up here. We've got our jars with our peaches. We've got our funnel. We've got our rims over there, and I have my lids boiling. And I always boil my lids. Some people don't, but I do. And then we have our debubbler stick and our magnet lifter to get our lids out of the hot water. But since I boiled my peaches so they are warm, I'm going to go ahead and start adding my simple sugar to my peaches. And I only put 1 cup of water. That's about 1 cup in that jar. So we're going to try that with these, and I may have to go back and add a little bit more. The water and the sugar mixed together. Because you want to leave that 1-inch head space. I made way too much of the simple syrup, but I'll use it probably for something. I'm going to get down here so I can show you how much you go just to the top of that rim, and that'll give you your 1-inch head space. And to my 5 cups of water, I added 1 cup of white sugar. If I forgot to tell y'all that, but I believe I did. Now we're going to add a little vinegar to our water, just a tiny bit, and we're going to take that, and then I've got a wet paper towel right here, and I'm going to dip that down in that vinegar and water mixture, and then squeeze it out just a little, and then I take that and I'm going to go around each jar to make sure I have no you check your jar to make sure you have no little chips in your glass while you're doing this. And you make sure with this that you clean your jar real good, and it makes sure you don't have any sticky syrup on top of it. That way you'll get a good seal. And we're going to do each jar the same way. Go around and check for any chips. Check your 1-inch head space while you're doing this. We're going to take this fruit and push it down in there just a little. Because when you add that simple syrup, it makes that fruit want to come up. It makes it float. So make sure all your peaches are down in your liquid. And now we're going to get the lids on them. And we're going to use our magnet lifter. Okay, take your little magnet lifter, pick the lid up, set it on there, try not to touch it. And just put it finger tight. going to fill our canner up to about probably around 2 inches, right there where you can tell where we've been filling it up at. That's how we do our canner. You want to fill it up 2 inches, and we're going to put it in there, and then we're going to place our jars in there. And I'm putting a lukewarm water in it, not ice cold water, because my peaches are warm and my syrup is hot. So we're going to go with a warm water to start the canner off with. My canner, once I've got my water in there, my 2 inches of water, and I'm starting to let it sit there and barely warm up, I always like to add just a splash of vinegar to mine. Some people do, some people don't, but to me, I think it just keeps your jars clear, and it makes them come out real clean and pretty, and you don't have any problems, having to worry about cleaning the residue off your jars. But I've always just put a splash of vinegar in my canners. And now we're going to start placing our peaches in the canner. Okay, now we're going to put the lid on it and let them come up to pressure. Right here, this is for your safety. This is the little gauge that it shows you where to close it and where to open it, which way to go. So to close it, we're going to take it and turn it till the handles are exactly matched up with each other, and then we're going to turn it on. I'll show y'all from this direction. To open it, you go, to close it, you go this way. And a lot of y'all might think you cannot pressure can on a glass top stove, but we have. Our other stove is a glass top, and we've always pressure canned on our stove. But just make sure you check and do it your way, and check your stove the first time or two, and make sure it's not hurting your eyes on your stove. But this one, it does good with it, and our pressure canner has never had any trouble. It's come up to pressure, it started thumping, and I'm going to cut them off because that's just how I want to do my peaches. I'm going to go ahead now and cut it off and let it sit there and let it release on its own. Alright y'all, my canner, the little thumper just went down, the pressure gauge, so we're going to go ahead now and take the lid off of it. And always put you a very dry cloth down to set your jars on, because you don't want it to have at least a little bit of water on it, or it will bust your jar, especially if it was to have a little cold spot. So get a clean, dry towel to place your jars on. And then we've got here is called a jar lifter, and it will help you pick the hot jars up where you don't burn your hand, and it makes them easy to lift. So let's take the lid off and get our jars out and see how our peaches turned out today. Always when you pick your canner up, take the lid and lift it up away from you. Okay. Alright, now we're going to go ahead now and start taking our little pint jars out of the canner. And we're going to set them on our towel. And see how that jar lifter helps so good to pick that jar up out of that pressure canner? And they all look good and pretty. And now, when the winter gets here and we want some fresh peaches, we've got canned fresh peaches, and we can make us a cobbler, or peach bread, or peach ice cream. I'll hold one up so y'all can see it good. See, it's still bubbling because it just has went off. And they'll even sit there too and cook just a little bit longer as they cool. I wind up with 6 pints, and I'm glad of that. I'll be glad to have them this winter. Even though, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's still better than letting those little peaches go to waste. Right now, with the times the way they are, we need to put up and save and stock our pantry as good as we can get it stocked, even if it's just a little bit at a time. If you don't want to put peaches up, just whenever you go to the grocery store, buy them in a can. Anything you can buy, even green beans, and buy 2 or 3 extra cans and just stick them way back in that pantry and don't use them, and then that way you'll have your pantry stocked when the prices keep going up. You can have them a little bit cheaper if you buy them ahead. So just try to stock up your pantries and get prepared for rough times to come. I hope y'all like our video on us canning our Georgia peaches. Thanks for watching. Like I said before, peaches is one of the easiest fruits to can. Like I said before, peaches is one of the easiest fruits to can.